I suppose this was our first clue that Xenia wasn't so happy with us. Although, I'm not so sure it's so much a clue as her blatantly telling us she don't like us. Anything wrong with being up early? She looked at me as if I had insulted her. I like the way her face is drawn when she does this expression though. Oh yeah, I think this is where Miku tells us that what did I just say? I think this is where Miku tells us that she lost something. Yeah, her tooth powder, which Semyon also loses, or realizes that he loses. And my money is still on that cat girl. Oh yeah, here we go. This is where Shirk disappeared. And I still feel like there was more to Shirk's disappearance than him just getting lost as he went to look for whatever it is he went to look for. Hopefully we get to find out what exactly is going on at the old camp and what exactly is going on at the Sovyonok camp. I think you do have to tell her that she looks gorgeous in it. Because now that I think about it, actually, no, theory for another time. Yes, the apple. The mysterious appeared out of nowhere apple. And it's green too. I hear those taste better than red. I think they're sweeter. So it depends on whether... Okay, stop talking about apples. This is another case where we never really find out what happens. But... And I know last time I said that it was probably Catgirl that left this here, but with what purpose? How did she know Semyon hadn't eaten unless she's like following him around? But why do that? No idea. And what is this thing over here? I'm just barely noticing. It looks like a skeleton, but it's like a small body with a rather large head, like the X-ray of an alien or something. Don't know. What did we do last time? I think we ate the apple. Hopefully in Elisa's route, we get to find out just what their problem is with the dude in the back. What was his name? Chev? Hang on a second. Genda, that's right. Oh my gosh, here we go with this part. I'm so interested in what exactly was said because I forgot a little bit about it. The old camp. One of the Sovyonok's legends tells the story of a young camp leader's ghost living there. She fell in love with a pioneer, but he rejected her, and so she killed herself. Okay, so obviously Lena isn't a camp leader, she's a pioneer. But that's still so hella similar. She fell in love with a pioneer, but he rejected her, and so she killed herself. Could it have anything to do with our camp leader and why she acts so mysterious all the time? She committed harakiri with a kitchen knife. Now if I'm not mistaken, that means you take the knife to your stomach and slide it all across your torso. Lena slit her wrist, or her entire arm really. But the similarities are still amazing. Might just be a coincidence, might not be, might have something to do with this chick. I don't know, but it fascinates me. And the music that plays during this part is so awesome, adding to the intensity of it. And I do believe we read something about a bus. Next day, that boy was hit by a bus. I refrained from asking about the route number. So what could it mean? Okay, so Lena kills herself. Semyon is brought here by a mysterious bus, then taken back. I feel and I see the connections in my brain, but I don't know how to put it into words. Ah, man, I don't know. Like, I can see it in my head, but I don't know how to put it perfectly into words. Okay, but if there are other routes, and now that I think about it, that's an interesting way to put it. Route. Like, the different paths that you can take in the story are called Lena's route, Slavia's route, and so on. But as I was saying, if there are other routes, other paths that you can take in the story, how does this correlate? This can't just be about Lena. So does that mean that the bad endings of the other characters are equally as tragic? You know, I can see why Lena is so sympathetic. Her words, "And what if during the night," her expression grew sad. And then Semyon finishes her sentence, "What if something happens to him? Alone at night in the forest, anything could happen." Lena says he must be lonely. Semyon, unsympathetic, says no one forced him to go there. Lena says, "What if he just got lost?" "He shouldn't go walking in the forest alone," responds Semyon. Then Lena declares, "You don't have any pity for him at all. Shurik may be sitting there all alone." I wonder if the reason that she's so sympathetic is because that's the way she feels inside. Lost, alone, feeling like no one has any pity for her at all. And speaking from someone who knows a thing or two about the subject, people with depression, maybe I'm stating the obvious for some of you, the nights are always the hardest. So that's why maybe Lena brings up the fact that anything can happen at night. You know something? When I uploaded this episode, I remember that I put a bunch of ghost Pokemon popping in and out while Lena and Semyon were here. That was so stupid in retrospect. I don't know why I thought that was funny or entertaining. Really wish I hadn't done that. There were several holes in the roof, like the aftermath of a bombing. So, is that what causes Semyon's nightmare of a bombing later on? Or was Semyon dreaming of something that actually happened here? Rather interesting. The inside of the old camp building reminded me of a kindergarten, the one I attended in my childhood. At first glance, even the room arrangement was the same. But why would that be? Maybe they built buildings similarly back then? Maybe whatever brought him here used his memories to create the camp? Maybe this was from a past life? I don't know. In retrospect, it is pretty interesting that there is essentially a bomb shelter underneath a camp. Now, it would make sense. This is the USSR. This was during the Cold War. But unless I'm missing something, unless there's more rooms, you only ever see these two bunk beds, which obviously would not be enough for all of the pioneers. And this living quarters would not be enough for all the pioneers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 lockers. Plus maybe a few here. Obviously not enough. So who was this built for? Why was it built? And was it actually bombed? You know, this is the second time that Lena brings up monsters. The first time around, Semyon joked that maybe there was a goblin in the forest, and Lena responded, yeah, maybe. What are you talking about, Lena? Are you talking about the monsters in your mind? Or is there more to the camp? Rather, I should say, even more to the camp than meets the eye. Or rather, I should say, even more to the camp than all the weirdness that already happens. Oh gosh, that noise was horrendous. So Lena is counting on me. She believes in me no matter what. She looked at him as absolute protection, and maybe that's one of the reasons she was so distraught when she thought he had rejected her. Because this was supposed to be her protector, this was supposed to be the guy that shielded her heart. And he let her down. Okay, so this is, at first glance, a drawing of an angel. But its shape, it's a bit weird. The first thing that comes to mind when I see it is an owl. And I don't know, maybe I've become so obsessed with them that I'm seeing them everywhere, but that's what it looks like to me. Interesting. You know what? What does this say? Re. What letter is that? A, E, H, K, A, Y, P, A. I'm gonna snap a photo of that, put it into Google Translate, and see if I can figure out what that means. Do you think you could make a fool of me, leading me here and there, to the left, to the right, and so on and so on and so on? And I followed. Okay, either one of two things happened. Homeboy went crazy and started hearing things that weren't actually there. 2, something actually took a hold of him and was trying to lead him somewhere. Lena says, "Thank you for today." Semyon responds, "There's nothing to thank me for." She says, "Thanks anyway." What exactly are you thanking him for? Again, I'm so suspicious of everything, and I feel like there's more to it than just, "Thanks for coming with me." She said mysteriously and averted her eyes. What are you hiding? I suddenly had a thought that something about that was a bit off, not quite right. Yeah, me too. Okay, so in this part, I'm supposed to tell the camp leader that I went alone. I have no idea why, but it makes me so even more suspicious of her. The first time around, the reason I mentioned that I had gone with Lena was because I thought, well, the next day the camp leader is gonna announce to everyone who found Shirk, right? And I didn't want Lena to get upset because she was thinking that, what's his name? Semyon, it's literally right in front of me. Semyon took all the glory, so that's why I decided to mention her. Apparently that's not what I'm supposed to do. And there's that owl again.